Go on a run for many years.
What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. So let's start this video with the reigning Miss Olympia, Samson Dauda. So what a great sign, seeing the best bodybuilder on the planet, helping all those people. And we have to keep in mind, all these people are not pros, and Samson is helping them with their workouts. Now it is very rare to see a Miss Olympia himself doing this kind of stuff. And Samson was booked for these tours way before this year's Miss Olympia competition. And we all know the kind of man Samson Dauda is. He would not have changed even a bit, even if he was contacted by all these Chinese people after winning the Olympia. So will there be another streak where a guy is gonna win 3 or more Miss Olympias in a row? And can that guy be Samson Dauda? Because from the trend that we have witnessed, after Phil Heath got dethroned, the Olympia title has changed hands almost every single year, except for those 2 years where Big Ronnie won it. So the greatest of all time, Ronnie Coleman, he was asked this question yesterday, and as good as Samson Dauda looked at this year's Miss Olympia, Ronnie still believes that there won't be any streak in the near future.
I don't think that's going to happen anymore. I think it's going to change hands for a while.
Now, I think Samson Dauda can really be that guy who can win multiple Miss Olympias in a row if he continues to go in this right direction. Now, none of us think that he needs more size. He was already beating Derek and Hardy in that department. And Samson was able to beat both these guys in that rear lat spread as well, which means his back has also came up. So all he has to do is to show up in a decent enough condition and blow away all these guys with his enormous size. Now he wasn't the best conditioned guy at this year's Olympia stage, but the overall package, that was just way too overwhelming for both these guys, Hardy and Derek. Next up, we have the current physique update of the 7x 212 Olympia champion, Flex Lewis. So this is only his 3rd week, back to proper training after going through that recovery phase of his tricep tear. And the muscle memory is already kicking in, and pretty damn fast. So for a guy who hasn't competed since 2018, the man looks extremely impressive. So I want to specifically point out towards those comparisons which are going around between Flex Lewis and Keon Pearson. So Flex Lewis was the most dominant 212 guy of his era. The 7 consecutive Olympia titles, they speak for themselves. But that being said, I have to say, he competed in relatively a weaker era. What I mean by that is, he did not face a fierce competitor like Hadi Choopan during his reign, and he was kinda lucky because Hadi would have beaten him multiple times. The 2018 Portugal Pro physique of Hadi Choopan, where he competed in the 212, that was one of the best 212 physiques of all time. And people really find it kinda disrespectful when you compare these past champions with the current ones. But this 2024 version of Keon Pearson, that beats any physique of Flex Lewis. And I'm gonna say all day long. Now Flex Lewis wasn't gifted in terms of the shape and the aesthetics and the momentum that Keon gains with that first pose, the front double biceps. Nobody can touch him. I believe what Keon presented in 2024, that was one of the greatest physiques of all time across any division. And a lot of bodybuilding legends, they also agree with that. Next up, we have the physique update of Rafael Brandao. So this is one of the best V-tippers in the men's open bodybuilding at the moment. And Brandao is working, and really hard, to bring a more detailed and a more conditioned physique to this year's Romania Pro, compared to what we saw at this past Miss Olympia. And this is gonna be in 2 weeks time from now. So very smart play, aiming to get his early qualification for the Olympia 2025, because that is gonna set the tone for the entire 2025 season. Because for Rafael Brandao to move up into that first call out at the Olympia level, he still needs more size. He still lacks the thickness, the density, especially in comparison to guys like Samson Dauda and Andrew Jack. Now, I think Rafael kinda underperformed at this year's Miss Olympia, because he should have been fighting for the top 6 spot if he was truly in an impeccable condition, like Martin Fitzwater was. He had the shape, he had the aesthetics, but he dropped the ball and paid the price. So top 8 in the world, that is still obviously really great achievement, but we all know he has the potential to place higher than that. So 2 weeks till this year's Romania Pro, where Rafael Brandao is entering as the favorite to win this title. And if him and his coach, Neil Hill, they do their job right, he is gonna get that win and his Olympia qualification. So how many of you guys think that Rafael Brandao was maybe in a bad shape, in a bad condition, when he was working with Chris Aceto? Now he wasn't placing higher, simply because he was massively lacking in the size department. Now Rafael Brandao has done 3 shows with Neil Hill, so he looked absolutely amazing at the Arnold Ohio, their first show together. But he was so off at the Arnold Brazil that he almost got beat by Tony Burton, and he wasn't 100% at this year's Mr. Olympia as well. Next up, we have a 2 weeks out physique update of Akim Williams, who is definitely gonna be the biggest threat to Rafael Brandao in Romania. So the man is top 10 in the world right now, from this past Miss Olympia. And if only Akim Williams looked as good at the Olympia prejudging, as good as he did at the finals, he could have been as high as 8th, or maybe even 7th. So Romania being a one-day show, there is gonna be zero margin for error, especially for a guy like Akim. He has to bring his A game at the prejudging in order to have a chance against Rafael Brandao. Now, statistically speaking, this looks a very tough show for Akim, because the judges prefer Brandao's physique over him all day. These 2 guys have competed against each other twice, and that too already this year, and Rafael came out on top both times. So Akim really has to come in with the best combination of size and conditioning, because he just cannot win the shape battle against a shape monster like Rafael Brandao. Now on the flip side, Akim Williams is a big guy. He takes up a lot of space on the stage. Even standing next to a guy like Samson Dauda, the reigning Miss Olympia, he held his own pretty damn well in all of those front shots. So it is all gonna come down to how good Akim Williams shows up here, especially in terms of conditioning. So I 100% believes that Terrence Ruffin can be the guy to challenge Mike Sommerfeld for Classic Physique Olympia title next year. So the way Mike Sommerfeld was able to show the whole bodybuilding world at this past Miss Olympia, and that was because of all that new size that he presented along with the best condition of his career. And Terrence Ruffin is the only guy in that Olympia top 6, or maybe even top 8, who can put on more size, even more size than Mike Sommerfeld did for this year's Miss Olympia by putting on 12 pounds of muscle in 1 year. So Terrence Ruffin can really be very dangerous. Now he also talked about the status of his elbow. For the people who do not know, the elbow injury is one of the reasons he decided not to do this year's Miss Olympia. But things are getting better now. As much as we are gonna miss Chris Bumstead at the Olympia stage next year, the Classic Physique battle, that is gonna be more exciting than ever. Because for the very first time in 6 years or so, it is gonna be so unpredictable. And Terrence 100% believes that he is gonna be the 4th guy to win the Classic Physique Olympia title. And I really think that he can be the guy to beat all these big names like Ramon, Urs, and Mike Sommerfeld. But do let me know what you guys think. And also hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video. And smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.